Okay, where's the lighting? I'm losing my lighting. It's starting to get dark. Oh no. Okay, so I have my scarf on because I have somewhere to go after this and I need my hair to lay flat. So hopefully that doesn't bother anyone in this video. The scarf is staying on. Today we are back with another tag. I was tagged by Steph at Romance Books and I love her videos. I watch a ton of her videos. She has the most amazing, iconic bookshelves. I hate on them a little bit because she has a ton that are like signed or like special edition, whatever. Beautiful. She tagged me. I'll leave her channel in the description box below, but she's a pretty well-known channel, so you probably already know who she is. It's called the Dilemas of a Book Nerd Discussion / tag thingy majiggy. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Your girl loves tags. So let's just get straight into it. I'm just going to start the video off with saying who I'm tagging. I will put pictures of all the people that I'm tagging right here, and I will also tag them on Twitter because I know a lot of bookers. I know a lot of booktubers are more active on Twitter. I will leave their channels in the description box below, along with the questions and along with their handles and stuff like that if you want to check their channels out. The questions are called dilemmas, so I'm going to just start off with the first one. The first dilemma is, how do I store my collection of books? So pretty much I put all my books on my bookshelf, like here it is. It's a mess. Like literally, I don't even know what kind of organization is going on over here, and I have so many ideas of how I want to do like my book nook and my corner. Like this just is not cutting it. I know what I want to do, but I'm just like saving to be able to buy everything at once and just redo it all at once. But for the most part, this is where I store all my stuff. I don't have any like loose books hanging around anywhere, but this is the only shelf that I have. I have another one, but it's white and I don't use it. All my books are in here, or they're usually in my book bag that I'm using at the moment. Okay, this question also is asking how it's organized. So this is not organized at all. I tried to organize everything by the series. Pretty much by the series, because I have a box set up here. I have a ton of the fairy tales up here. I have another box set here. Then I have like all Sarah J Maas's books here, and then I just have all right here, all series. Prior to the Orange Trees just randomly sitting there because I have nowhere to put that huge book. Then I have my mangas here, and then I have some of my books I haven't read yet, and then under that is like my favorite shelf, and then after that is just like not organized at all. So pretty much 100% unorganized, but we're going to work on that. So the second dilemma is, how do I track the progress of my reading? So the only platform that I use personally is Goodreads because it's the only one that I know of. I've seen people use another one, and I think it has like a blue and white background. I don't know what it's called. For the most part, I only use Goodreads. If there's any other platforms that you guys use to track your reading, just let me know in the comments below, you know, so I can check them out. The third dilemma is borrowing books. So do I let people borrow my books? The answer is hell to the no, okay?
Hell no, to the no, no, no.
Hell no. I let one person borrow my book, and it was one of my good friends, Brooke, and she borrowed my Harry Potter series because she wanted to get into it, and sadly, she didn't like it. It humbled me as a reader and helped me understand that everybody doesn't like the same things you like. But she didn't like the series. She ended up stopping on the second book. It took her forever to finish it, but I was impressed for it. She's trustworthy. I knew she wasn't going to destroy my books, but I've heard some horror stories all over the internet about people letting friends borrow books, co-workers borrow books, and it just never ends well. So personally, from that, I don't want to I don't want to experience that. I like to keep my books on my shelf. The fourth dilemma is, how and where do I buy my books? For me, I usually buy my books in Barnes & Noble. Now I live in Atlanta, so they have half-price books, which I'm terrified to go in because I know I would do damage. And then I love Phoenix Bookstore. I rarely buy my books on Amazon, or I go on Barnes & Noble online, and they have a used book option where they sell from like second parties, or like libraries sometimes sell books. So I'll go on there, and the books will be like dumb cheap, like $3. It'll take like 2 weeks to get to you, but it's definitely worth it. I know everybody loves Book Depository, but they did me dirty twice, so I'm just like, I'm not a fan of them. The fifth dilemma is comments. How do I engage and keep up with comments within my community and on my platform? So I have been slacking so bad with replying to comments. Usually, as soon as they would pop up on my phone, I would just like quick comment back, but now it's like I'll see it pop up on my phone and be like, oh, I'll just comment on it later. and I never do. I'm trying to get back into making sure I reply to comments and stuff like that. Most of the time I engage on Twitter now that I'm on there. And even if you leave a comment on my videos, I usually make sure I at least give you a thumbs up, so you know I saw it at least. So the sixth dilemma is, how do I pick my next book? So for me personally, I'm a mood reader. Like I'm usually in the mood of like whatever's going on in my life, or like if I get really spiked up on the last book that I read, I'll read the next book that's like something that's similar to it. I'm 100% a mood reader. Like it's all based off of how I feel, what I want to read, and stuff like that. I'm not big on TBRs because I feel like I'm forcing myself to read something and it just feels too scripted, unless it's for like a readathon for specific prompts, then that's different. So the seventh dilemma is traveling and how I decide what books I want to bring with me. You know, the crazy thing is that I thought about recently, every time that I've traveled so far since I've gotten back into reading, the books that I end up reading on the plane are always male romance. I don't know why. Like the first book that I read on the plane once I got back into reading was Carry On, and then I read Red, White, and Royal Blue, and it just feels like every time I end up traveling somewhere, I'm reading a romance book. It's not on purpose, and honestly, I usually just bring the book that I'm reading at the moment and the next book I want to read after, or I'll just bring my current read and then buy another book once I get to wherever I'm going. I also like to make sure I bring like the thicker books, because like when you're on the plane, you can't use your phone, you know, you're not distracted, so you can get way more reading done. The eighth dilemma is, do I annotate my book? So when I first started reading, I hated seeing people annotate their books. I just thought it was like so bad to just destroy your books like that. But honestly, I annotate and I have no method behind it. It's so bad. Like I literally just like scribble stuff, draw hearts, draw brackets, draw sad faces. Like there's no method behind my annotation. Like my sticky tabs used to have certain meanings, but then I ran out of certain sticky tabs. So at this point, I'm just using whatever sticky tab I want to. It's just like a mess right now. So the ninth dilemma is, which do I prefer when it comes to reading? Backlist books or books that are new releases? So me personally, I like to wait until a series is pretty much finished. I usually read books once the hype dies down and people are done talking about it, so I can have my own opinion and see where I fall on the spectrum. Not big on new releases unless it's like a person of color, then I want to support them and read it as soon as possible. And the 10th and final dilemma is how I read my series. So do I wait for each book to be published and then follow along, or do I wait for the entire series to be finished? I like to wait until the entire series is pretty much finished, unless it's a book like Children of Blood and Bone. I'm not waiting for that because I want to read as I go, okay? Like I love that series so much. But like Nevernight, I'm waiting for that, the third book to come out because I read the first one. I have the second one, but I'm waiting for the final book to come so I can just read the last two. A lot of the books that I have, I'll wait until they all are published, or I'll find out about the series late, so by the time I start reading it, the entire series is probably almost already done, so there's that. But my preference definitely is to wait for the whole series to be done, because it just makes it's faster and it's more fun when you can just read everything back to back and you remember stuff better. Especially when I reread Throne of Glass, and this time when I reread it, the entire series was already out, so I didn't have to wait, and I just remembered everything back to back of what was going on, what was happening, and it was enjoyable, and it definitely altered my opinion for a lot of things. So I definitely prefer to wait for the whole series to just be done, so I can just like binge it, enjoy it, call it a day. That is the end of this tag. I can take this damn scarf off of my head. I again have people that I tagged. I put their pictures up, and I'm going to link their channels in the description box below, so make sure you give them a little click and check out their channel, and make sure you give me a thumbs up, a comment, a share, or whatever, and make sure you subscribe if you already haven't, and follow your girl on Instagram, follow your girl on Twitter. I've been having so many people follow my reviews on Goodreads. I'm like, see, when I was putting all my effort into my Goodreads reviews, nobody was following me. Now, I be forgetting to do reviews and everybody's following me on Goodreads. But I'm not going to knock y'all. You can follow me on Goodreads. Thank you so much, Steph, for tagging me in this video. Make sure you share this tag to give it more recognition. Thank you guys so much for watching. Always remember, read a book, keep your life interesting, and I will see you next time.